Hey, it's Bruce here with New Skills, New You. Today we're going to talk about why mixed messages miss money. And I just love a good alliteration. You know what? Let's go ahead. So there's always someone. Titles shouldn't be capitalized. There we go. Why mixed messages? So think about this. You've got a great idea. You've got an event, workshop, webinar, and you're wondering why no one's showing up. Actually, this question came from a group I'm working with that asked me, where do they get leads? And that's a brilliant question. We've got a business. Where do we get leads? There's two fundamental problems. First of all, they don't ask. And we talk about that. If you go find the video, 5 steps to hear yes more often. Just ask. Just ask people. Anyone. We'll talk about the right people later on in the video. But their challenge is, what are we asking these people? So having the money. So I'm going to use my own life, my own business, and I hope that it'll help you in your business hear yes more often from the right people. So first things first, when it comes to, there we go. When it comes to finding new lead, what's a lead? A lead is an opportunity to introduce yourself to a new client. Okay. That's a lead. That could be someone opting into your newsletter. That could someone connecting you with you on LinkedIn. That could be someone commenting on your TikTok video. That is a lead. Okay. They likes are not leads. What else I'm trying to think about? Even retweets are not leads. It has to be an opportunity to initiate a conversation, right? Conversations close deals. I'm going to say that over. Conversations close deals. So a lead is an opportunity to have an introductory conversation. They may not have heard about you. It could be a cold lead. They may have heard about you. It could be a warm lead. They haven't done business with you yet. A hot lead is someone that's like, look, here's the deposit. What do I do next? Well, that's really a lesson from when I worked in SaaS, the software as a service. We categorize how the temperature of the leads. But let's take a step back. What is a lead? And some of you, man, oh, we already know this. We're going to skip this video. I need you to get back to the fundamentals, because if you're watching this, you're wondering why you're missing money, you're missing opportunities from your leads aren't converting. And this is what I believe is the problem. It's very subtle, but in the next, let's call it 10 minutes, we're going to talk about how to have a clear message, because guess what? Clarity closes deals. We're going to have a clear message with a clear target or a clear outcome. That's going to convert those conversations into clients. Okay. That's how we're going to grow our business. So we know what a lead is. Where do we get these leads? First, we have to start with who. Who is your ideal client? Why are they looking? Maybe they're not looking for you. Why are they in need of your product or service, right? In this, you might hear this, your profile, your avatar. I don't even want to put a fancy title on it. I just need you to have answers to these questions. Check this out. I love these two questions. What happens if they don't work with you? Everyone thinks that, oh, we're the obvious choice. It's a no-brainer. They should work with us. But let's be honest, they haven't worked with you yet. They may not even know you exist. They're living life without you right now. So we need to understand what their life looks like if they never came across our business. And this is where I believe a lot of people are afraid to introduce themselves people, to new clients or potential clients, they assume it's an intrusion. They assume it's a bother, it's an interruption. Um, I- Maybe it is an interruption because I'm going to interrupt what their life is like right now. So, in New Skills New You, we focus on personal and professional development with an emphasis on sales skills. Their life right now is a great idea that isn't making them money. Their life right now is talking to people they would love to work with, but they're not hearing yes. That's their life right now. So when I do interrupt their life and introduce myself, it is an interruption, but it's not a bother. They're excited to hear from me. They're excited to work with me because they know that they are going to have an answer to this question. They're going to hear yes more often without sounding salesy. They're going to grow their revenue and retention without complicated sales processes or expensive software. That's the outcome from working with me. And why is that? So they're not in a feast or famine cycle. So they're not using spammy sales techniques. I put that in quotation marks because spamming is never a good technique. It's not even efficient. So it's a waste of everyone's time. Um, so they are having better conversations with people that want to talk with them. And so the revenue is growing. So they're helping more people. They're changing more lives. That's why people work with New Skills New. You need to have a compelling answer to this question. We talk about who, we have an answer. Let's talk about where. Where are they? Where do you find these people? And then you know what else? Where can they find you? They say not to quote other folks in your videos, but I don't mind telling you who I learned from. Myron Golden talks about being easy to find. I think this is only very now, if you are a tech startup, I love working with tech startups. We're going to talk about my ideal avatar in a minute, just for an example. You haven't been around for 100 years, right? You just started this year, a few years ago. Maybe you're a solopreneur. It's going to be difficult for you to be easy to find. Fortunately, technology makes it easier. But all this noise, you're going to have to go find some people, at least until you've built enough momentum where people are searching for you. It's both. The answer is both. Don't sit around waiting for people to call you. Be easy to find. If they type in a specific problem, do you come up? Do you show up? And I'll show you how I do that. You should be looking for people. You should be finding leads. So where do we find them? Depends on your business. For LinkedIn, we can do connection requests. Ooh, I can't spell. Okay. We can follow people. We can send messages, right? Maybe we send them a newsletter. Maybe we invite them to an event. So events can be found organically. And what else? Comment. And then there's a tool called Sales Navigator. I recommend getting some training on that so it's not a waste of time and money. Be happy to help. And I just use this because what I like to use. I like to work B2B. So guess what? I go to where businesses hang out. Right? I know who I'm looking for. I know where they are. So let's go talk to them. Actually, let's go back here. Who's your real client? I I work with two people, early stage startups, right? Less than 10 years. And they're probably that's greater than son. They're probably, oh, let's see, what was the last one I worked with? Usually less than 100 employees. That's a sweet spot. Now, also love to work with solopreneurs, particularly coaches speakers, and authors. Let's say consultants. A lot of these folks may end up being authors, but I don't help people just because they're authors. There's two things I like about, I'm going to put SaaS here. There's two things I like about this group of people. They usually have a service. It's an intangible. What I teach works best when people who sell a transformation versus a product, a tangible physical product. Two, and this is where the title comes so important. I solve the same problem for these people. The problem is the same. How do we hear yes for more out of our ideal client without sounding sales? And that may be a problem for a lot of people. For these two specifically, it's solving through sales technology, personal professional development, and sales strategy, right? Those are the three pillars. However, I talk to them very, very differently. This group I've usually got to work with one-on-one most of the time. And they are going to be more interested in the strategy, technology, than personal development. This group is going to be personal professional development and the technology. The strategy's got to fit in what they're already doing. Most of the time, I don't reinvent the wheel for this group. And so, even though I solve the same problem for these two groups, I have to talk to them different. And when you try and talk to them both at the same time, the missed messages miss money. Love a good alliteration. This is one of the reasons your outreach isn't working. You've got two different people because it's the same problem. You think these are the same people. They have very, very different priorities. So, because think about it, why are they in need of your service? This person might just be trying to pay the car note. Maybe pay for their kids' education. This person's got investors that want to see an ROI. They've got goals and timelines. What's ultimately, they both need to hear yes from their ideal client without sounding sales. And we do that through personal and professional development, the emphasis in sales, usually sales strategy to improve revenue and retention. For the conversation, what I'm saying to them is going to be different to attract their attention. So now when I go to the where and I send this connection request, I'm going to send a different message to a speaker than I am to the store. That right there, if you can pull those apart, say, hey, even though this is one problem, how many different audiences do I have that address this problem? It's going to change. And another thing that'll change between here and here is delivery. I might do a group workshop for these folks. I might do an 8 to 10 week strategy with these folks because they have not only more resources but a bigger need. Which brings me to the next one. How can you help them? Now, this overlaps with where we find them to how we help them. And the reason for that is when we talk about leads, our approach is going to be slightly different. For that solopreneur, I might say, hey, come to this free webinar. Sundays at 7, I do a live sales Q&A. I do an in-person workshop. I have a consulting bag. So each of these techniques is going to change not only where we find them, but how we ask them. So webinar is pretty easy. Here's the landing page. Here's the link. Sign up. Ask me anything. This is a Zoom link. Workshop, I might put it on Eventbrite, especially if it's in person. I put it on the Eventbrite. it's only package, I might invite them to a discovery call and then help them pick out the package that works best for them. So this is going to be important when we're talking about finding leads is what do we want them to do next based on our initial conversation, based on our introduction. Okay. So let's come down here. Here's what you can do today is pick one person, right? Are you going to be solopreneurs? Are you going to be tech startups? Pick one message. And I feel like pick one solution. I wonder if there's alliteration in here. Yeah, that's good. All right. And then you're going to tell them. So if I know that solopreneurs like to use LinkedIn, I'm going to go talk to all the speakers I can. And I'm going to tell them build a 7-figure sales strategy, scaled for a solopreneur. Right? I'm saying, would you like to hear yes more often without complicated sales process or expensive software? Join us Saturday. Right? And I actually need to make the flyer. This is an actual workshop, right? So one person, they're going to be experts in their field. So I might say greater than 5 years. This may not be good for newbies. Full time or want to go full time. Right? We're not people are not doing this for a hobby, not playing pretend. People are taking it seriously. So that's who. What are we going to offer them? Let's teach them how to build a sales strategy. And I say 7 figures because when I was building these for tech startups, that's what we did. And so now I'm working on 7 figures with my strategy, but I will never sell you anything I haven't done. This isn't 10 steps to make 7 figures, but this sales strategy is scalable, it's expandable for as much as you want to make. So we've used this in companies to get to 7 figures. You can use it to scale what you're doing without having to hire 200 people or, incorporate in multiple countries. Like, no, we're going to make this so simple that you can use it today and scale it for tomorrow. That's good. Put that on the flyer. Okay. So then, where's one solution? Right. Actually, I should put this here. So here's the solution, or here's the message. Solution is workshop. On Saturday, we will teach you how we built a sales strategy for actually it was an international company. We had folks all over the world. It was great. And scale it down so you can use it in business. Hmm. That's it. Person, one message. Do that every day for 30 days. Do that every day for 30 days. And you're like, well, who do I talk to? Here, I'll show you. Open up your link here. Go to LinkedIn. I'll show you exactly what I do. I'll go into here, I'll hit search. Let me go to, what is this? Oh, link matches. See, that's one of the tools I like to use. I'll go to, not posts, I need people. This is updating it for, we'll worry about that later. What are you doing to me, LinkedIn? Reset. There it is. They moved it. People. Sheesh. All right, here we go. All filters. I'm gonna use second connections. Yeah, let's just keep it in Georgia for now. And then let's see, service category keywords type. One thing I like about Sales Navigator is you can say they've been in the role for X number of years. That's how I get to people more than 5 years. Boom. There you go. I'll go through here. Oh, nice. Automotive sales trainer. There we go. Education motivational speaker, public speaker. Her name, that's a good one. That's probably a solopreneur. Speaker and coach. Oh, international. And so I'll send a message to these folks and I'll say, hey, I help speakers. Here. I like to ask a question, get some engagement. Sometimes it's like this Demetrius here, seems like a nice guy. Hey, Demetrius, only knows a couple people I know. I'll send without a note. In the interest of time, if you're not sure what to say, just send a request. And two reasons I send a request. I want to be intentional about who I connect with. I want them to be able to invite them kind of see what I do. If you just hit this follow button, they won't always see that you followed them. They won't know that you exist. Sometimes the follow button will be right here, so don't get that confused. Connect is both ways. Follow is just one way. So that's the first thing I like to connect so they can see my page. But then part of what I do, Rashida does a great job of this. She works in the sports arena, right? So if you type certain words in, her posts come up. And this is one way it can be easy to be found. So if you're talking about NCAA, you're talking about college football, a lot of times she's going to pop up. And that's what you want to do. When someone comes to your page, let's see, my profile, what do they see? So right here at the top, sales success coach and professional speaker. Okay, we know right away what Bruce does. This is what I'll talk about when it's be easy to follow. Sales success made simple. Okay, I can subscribe to this. Let's see what he writes about. And you want to write about things that your ideal audience cares about. Here's a good one. How to increase both revenue and retention without expensive software. If that's a priority for me, and maybe I've spent money on software, I'm going to click it. I'm going to read it. And this is why I like to connect because they're going to be able to come in and see this. They can go through here and they can learn from me, get value from me before they've ever spent any time with me or spend any money. Oh, I love doing this. And then sometimes what I'll do when people accept our, so remember I said we'll send a connection without a message. When they accept, I'll send them one of these. Send them an article. Say, hey, subscribe to my newsletter. If there's a value, to subscribe. If it's not, send it to someone who is. If you pick one group of people, one message, one promise, and you just do that a little bit every day, you're going to grow your business. I always get carried away. These things are supposed to be 10 minutes, but I start diving in. I want to make sure I tell you everything I can so you can succeed. I try and keep it actionable, simple, and short. However, if you want to dive in deeper, if there's questions you have, just leave a comment. All my questions come from people I've talked to, worked with, or engage with on social media. Those aren't questions I made up or pulled out of the air. So if you're like, man, I really want to ask a question. Right now it's easy. Right now, I have the bandwidth where I can go through each comment and I can respond. It might be a week or so. If you need it faster, we can schedule a call. The goal for this channel is to make sales simple. The goal for this channel is to help you hear yes more often without sounding salesy. That's it. That's the mission. And so if you want help doing that, you're in the right place. Like and subscribe, share with a friend, all that YouTube stuff. Cheers.